Making this cloth diaper wreath is really, really simple. All you're going to do is start with a wreath form, and I used some twigs out of my yard because I was trimming some shrubs and it worked out that they were flexible and made an easy wreath form. But you could use styrofoam, a pool noodle, whatever you want. I'm using 2 dozen preemie sized Prefolds, and I'm just going to roll them up and wrap them around my wreath form, just right in half, and then I'm using rainbow loom bands to secure it. I'm just going around one time. It doesn't need to be super tight. And then you will do that the whole way around. And then for the ribbon, what I did was, instead of cutting a bunch of individual pieces and securing them, I wanted something that was easier and a little less wasteful with the ribbon so it could be used again later. So what I did was I secured the ribbon by just tucking it into one of the rainbow loom bands to get it started, and then I weaved it in and out all the way around, and you can see that here. And I did one color at a time, and I just went over and under the whole way around this wreath. Make sure that you kind of pull it tight, and this will help keep everything in place. And when you get to the end, just tuck it back around, and we'll come to that here in a little bit. And then after you get around once with your first color, do the same with your second color or your second round, and come around the opposite ones and just weave it in and out. And you could do this with a couple of colors or a few colors if you wanted to make a second row, which could be fun. And then the same thing here when I'm all done. What I'll do is I will flip this over, and I've got a couple of safety pins here, and all I'm going to do is secure it back here, but I'm going to flip it over to make sure everything stays tight. Okay, now as I showed, when you're done, you've got all these little ends here, and I want to make sure that these don't come undone and my whole, work ends up ruined. So I'm just going to take all these little pieces here, and I'll do this more securely later, but basically you're just going to stick a safety pin through it, make sure you get into the prefold below it, and that is not going to go anywhere. You can add another one, whatever you need to do. And if you can see here, I've got 2 of the same color up against each other, but that's not really a problem because I'm going to stick something here anyway. So you could put a flower, a little stuffed animal, or some other sort of embellishment, a ribbon, whatever, just to kind of hide that. And that'll make the bottom corner of your wreath. And to hang it, what I did was I used a pipe cleaner. I picked a white one, but you could use something that matches if you wanted to. And I just tied it through here and tucked it back behind, made like a little loop, and I can just hang that on my wreath hanger. Okay, so I wanted to show you these fun flowers that I made. I was trying to find some things that I had laying around the house, and I'm a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to wrapping and things like that. So what these are is just little organza gift bags, and you can see this is a nice big bag, and all I did was take the end, pull it down through, and you're just going to want to make sure it gets caught here in the ribbon. And then I just pull it tight, and then kind of mash it down, and you can make it look a little bit better than this by doing some swirls or whatever you need to do. And the same thing, this is just a smaller size. It wasn't exactly the right color for this particular project, but it's the same thing. Give you a little depth by having a couple different kind of flowers here. Of course, you can use whatever you happen to have laying around. I just use these because I like to upcycle materials when possible. Now I haven't added all of my embellishments and cleaned it up, but this is the basic look. And again, if you had something, now this isn't the right color for this particular wreath, but you can embellish with, a cute stuffed animal or a baby toy or teeter, whatever you happen to have. Some extra ribbon. I could have made, my ribbon into a bow to have something that matches. You can do whatever.